Alright y'all, welcome to another video. This one's going to be a walkthrough. It's going to be two parts. Part one is, of course, this part. I'm going to get you as far as getting the station powered on, and then part two, which will hopefully come later this evening, will be the rest of the walkthrough. Now, the reason for a two-part, for those that don't know, whether it was Evo testing or the current Wave 1 testing, it's been a nightmare trying to get this mission completed. Every time you have a server error, it resets. A buddy of mine, GoLag, and I were able to run all the way through back when it was in Evo after they just launched a patch, and ever since then we haven't been able to get a full run. So I'm recording this during Wave 1 because I don't like doing recordings during Evo, during the whole NDA thing, and I'm just going to run you guys through it best I can. So approaching the station, as you see in the video here, you see the big ring and then of course the large asteroid. You're going to approach on the asteroids, or rather the station side of the asteroid. Under this array are two pads. So while I'm landing, let's talk. Why do you want to do this? All the minerals that are inside that big asteroid right there, if that's your thing, right? Because a lot of these are no doubt going to be useful for crafting. They're going to be used for Wakalo, I would imagine, and various other things. There's also a lot of loot in the station, so if mining the asteroid isn't your thing, maybe the loot is. Alright, so, hopping out the ship, walking by the train stop here, or tram stop. That's a gondola. We'll get to that later, because it's not powered on right now. Alright, entering the station. There are two pads, two different doors you can enter. As soon as you get in, there's going to be a couple of NPCs in this area. And you get to look at the new inventory system. I'll go into the inventory here later, or in a separate video. Alright, so I'm going to try to keep this as quick as possible, but still showing everything that needs to be shown. So you're going to head to this elevator and head on up to the core. So the core is kind of the central area of this introductory part to the station. It's where you get the power on. It's where you bring all your capacitors, and I'll go through that as we head upstairs. All right, once we get up here, you're going to have three different directions you can go. Straight ahead, which is a balcony. Left is a fuse door, right is a fuse door. Fuses are pretty readily available up here. I don't know why my gun dropped. So you can see there's a fuse box right there in front of me. Alright, so this is the balcony. That's a very important area. That's where all the capacitors go, and I'll show you those as we move along here. So the first place I'm going to go is to the right. You can see there's NPCs trying to clip through the door there. Alright, lots of these little rooms exist in this entire station. Ammo, loot, there's some armor. Not the new armor, which is called the... Oh, I can't remember. The mode armor? Monde armor, however you pronounce it. Those are in the orange boxes that we're familiar with, you know, back at like Onyx facilities, Site B. But those will come later during part 2 when I show you guys the storage facility, the secure storage. I forget what the name. But alright, so we're going to continue into this big room here. And what we're looking for are capacitors to get the station powered up. There's 4 of them. One of them is going to be in this room here. Just taking out a couple NPCs. Alright, so straight ahead here, and up and to the left, you're going to see a mining drone, mining robot, whatever its intended purpose is. That's where you're going to get your capacitors from. They are in the rear end of these machines. And I'll show you that in just a second. These NPCs, a lot like the other QV stations, the QV warehouses, these don't play around. They hit pretty hard. Normally, I would say have at least 2 people in here. It is possible to solo it, but it gets a bit rough. So I would say you and a buddy at a minimum. The whole org wants to head on in there, the more the merrier. Alright, so here's this spider drill robot thing. That green thing in the rear end, that's the capacitor we need. I'm just switching my guns around here. I came in without any ammo, so I'm just making do. Alright, so again, these capacitors, you need 4 of them. And that's just step 1, which is powering on the station itself. So we'll head back to the core with this. So during Evo and during the Wave 1 here, anytime there's a server error, it resets this entire facility, and your progress is lost. You can't redo any of it. Alright, so you saw I put that capacitor in there, so we got 3 to go. I'm just looking for meds and ammo and things. Alright, I'm going to speed it up to the point where we go into the left-hand side door from when we came in. Alright, so, coming up the elevator, into the core, hook a left. This is that door. Alright, so, as I move my way through here and kill these NPCs and things, I'll go ahead and let you guys know more about the station. So, the entire run that I'm doing here is to get 100% yield out of the laser. Because that's the point, right? So, I'm going to show you guys all of that. Obviously, there's going to be a part 2. Like I said, a lot of server errors have been killing my progress every single time trying to get it done. And I didn't record our initial run when we were in the Evo side, NDAs and all that. But anyway, so what do you need to get 100%? So the 4 capacitors that we've already talked about, those are step 1, power the station on. After that, you go power the laser subsystems on up in the operations control room. Beyond that, you need to align 3 refractors, A, B, and C. There are 3 associated codes that you need for those refractors, which I'll show you where to get. You're also going to need 12 pieces of ore. Now, this ore is, I'm going to butcher this because I don't remember the exact name of it, but I want to say it's Sadarnix. I think it's a newer type of ore that they put in the game. But behind this door, there's a lot of that ore. But I didn't have a multi-tool, or I should say the salvage tool, to fix that. You got to fix that leaking bottle on the left, and the door will open. Now, when you go in there, if you're by yourself, you can't stay in there too long. Go in there, pop the rocks, get the ores, and then get out. Because if that weld, I guess, the salvage that you do to repair that door fails while you're in there, you're stuck. I don't know if SIG plans to do an emergency override to open that door from the other side, but as it stands right now, you're stuck. I was in there for probably 3 or 4 minutes total, and I was able to get out. But I have been in there before exploring. The first time I came through here, I was in there maybe 10 minutes. The door shut. I couldn't get out. Alright, so you need those ores to create the focus lenses, and all that will be shown to you in part 2 when I can get deeper in the station. So let's see. So 4 capacitors, power the station on. Operations Control Center, subsystems powered on. Mining head, craft the 3 lenses, and I'll show you all of that. And then you need the lasing catalyst, which is beyond the mining control room. What else? Oh, and the refractors. I'll show you how to align the refractors. But like I said, this part 1 mainly just focuses on getting the power on. So I'm going to go ahead and shift gears and get back to part 1 here. So you've seen in the video where I'm going. You see another one of those mining robots / drones. So that's where our second capacitor is. And you can hear the worms in the background. They weren't initially in the early patches, but they've been added, or stability has made them come around ever since Wave 1. They may have shown up towards the end of Evo, but I didn't see them. So, all right. So as you can see, I'm just kind of collecting stuff. Now I'm going to go through here, and I'm going to show you guys one of the rooms where that new ore is, because there is some of it back here. I think you can get 6 pieces back here. You need 12 pieces in total through that wall I just showed you. But that other room from earlier has, I think, 10, if not 12 in there. So you can actually get all you need from that one room. And if not, you can come to this other room to get the rest of it. Alright, so this is our third capacitor. So we'll go ahead and steal this one and take it back up with the other one. I'm also going to show you guys, call it a shortcut, I guess, with these capacitors. You don't have to manually walk them all the way back around to the core. There's a bridge up ahead here where you can just send them over a gap and put them up on that balcony. Alright, so this wall to the right here, it's breakable. First breakable wall we've had in the game, I suppose. The multi-tools have been slow. Just give them time. They'll eventually catch up. But this wall, I've done full power, and the wall doesn't explode. It's not going to hurt you. It does push, when the parts all kind of fall apart, it might push you off the ledge, but that's about the most of it. As you can see, it's kind of pushing me around a little bit there. Alright, so in here, you've got the standard blue rocks. I'm not that well versed of a miner. I don't know what maybe that's aphrite, but these rocks, these grayish marbled looking rocks, this is what you want. And if I can zoom in on the multi-tool, I can tell you what the name of it is. I'll be honest, I can't see it. It starts with an S, and it's something very similar to Sodarnix, maybe. I'd have to look it up. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and speed this up. From this, you guys get the point, mine them, get the rocks, get the ore, off we go. Alright, so backtracking just a little bit. Right to where I threw those 2 capacitors, just beyond the ice wall there. This is the door you pass coming to the right, coming down this passage to the right. Off to the left is the mining robot that we got the second capacitor from. So I've got both of these capacitors, and we're going to go through this door here. And this door is on your right as you're initially coming down through this passage. Alright, this door was, it was giving me grief, so I'm just going to speed this up a little bit. Basically, I had to pull the old fuse out to reset the door, and then put the new fuse in. I never put the initial fuse in there, so that fuse was still stuck from whoever came through the station before me. But alright, so we're going to take our 2 capacitors, keep moving them along. Expel these enemies. We got one more door up ahead of us that we need to go through and take these capacitors with us. up to the left is a big opening. All that worm noise you were hearing earlier, there's one of those, you know, medium-sized worms that resides in this hole on the left. But the NPCs already killed him, so didn't have to worry about him. And we'll just keep leapfrogging these capacitors through the next door. Alright, so this door is going to take you out to that bridge that's below the balcony that we were on earlier. So we'll just tractor beam these capacitors up there to save us a little bit of time. You can walk them all the way around if you wanted to, but I figured this is just easier. One other thing to note as I'm killing these NPCs. Across this bridge to the right is one of the codes you're going to need for the refractors I was talking about earlier. And again, I'll get into all that during part 2. Alright, so you can see up there, that's the balcony where the capacitors actually go in to power the station on. And then the fourth capacitor, I don't know if you saw it right quick, down to the left was that last mining drone. Through here, clearing the place out so I don't get snuck up behind. Alright, let's talk the mission, right? So, initially, in early testing, this mission cost $50K. And we knew they were going to make it more expensive than that because it's worth way more than that. Then they bumped it up to $400,000. Now, in Wave 1, it's $850,000. So quite the jump, but if you take a couple of buddies, it's not that, you know, $850K is not really that hard to get with, you know, missions being worth $100,000, $200,000 a piece, especially if you're a hauler and you're doing those whole sea hauls and, you know, making $800K a pop. Is it expensive? Yeah. The economy's still pretty messed up. We all know that. I mean, there's hundreds of millions, probably hundreds of billions of dollars or AUEC out there. So, in this broken economy, 850 is too easy. In a normal game economy, to me, 850 sounds about right. But that's just my opinion. All right, so we're going to send these 3 capacitors back up topside. You need to send them about 28 meters or so, and then carefully place them down up there, because if you drop them, it's all over with. You can't get them from down below. That's a void. Now there are, there's one more capacitor that I know of. There might be 2 more. There are 2 more. There's one, no, there's only one that I know of for sure. And it's in that door where you have to repair the pipe to go in there to get that ore that I was showing you earlier. So, just if you do drop one, there is an extra one in there. Alright, so you can see the 2 screens talking about the refractors. That screen in the middle there, that has the code. So, jot that code down. And again, during part 2 of this video, I'll show all the rest of it. Yeah, because we haven't 100% it yet, so I'm going to be learning too as we go. As far as I know, you need that code, and then in the operations center, or the operations control room, there are the other 2 codes that you're going to need for aligning the refractors. But all right, so at this point, I'm just walking around searching for more of that rare ore that we need to make the lenses with. I'm not going to showcase all this because this will take a while. So I'm just going to go ahead and skip ahead to the next part. All right, I did want to show this. So from where I was at when I said I was going to skip ahead, I did skip ahead a little bit. But if you continue down that linear path, you're going to come to this room here where one of these drones is being repaired. That drone has another capacitor in it. So there are at least 2 extra capacitors in the facility. There's the one here, and then there's the one that's in that room that I told you where you can go get those ores, and you have to repair that bottle to get in. Alright, so I initially didn't have this footage. While I was making this video, I actually backtracked and went to a station, and I wanted to show this, because what's the point in telling you about it if I don't show it to you? So you fix the pipe, and you get down in this room. You're going to have a couple worms pop up, but it's like 3 or 4 of them in total. Not bad. There is an EVA section ahead, which is ultimately where you need to go. And then you hear the worms. I'm going to jump back. Yeah, I'm going to jump back up and kill them right. Alright, so once you dispatch them, go back to this EVA area, float down through this small opening, keep on going. And down here is going to be that 5th capacitor I was telling you about towards the back of the room. And then also those unique rocks you need to make the lenses are also down here. If I recall correctly, I think I got 10 out of this area. They could be a random spawn. Like I had 1 there. If you were to take out the 2 blue ones, they might respawn with 2 or 3 or maybe even none. Who knows? But you should have, between that one room I showed you, that has always had 3 of those rocks, so 6 total ore, and this room has always had at least 6. So I would say each time you come to this station, you should have the 12 that you need to make the 3 lenses, because each lens needs 4 pieces of ore. And again, I'll show you all that during part 2. Alright, so this room isn't all that huge, but just search the walls, search the ceiling, and you'll find the rocks you're looking for. But I'm gonna go ahead and get back to the video because we're getting real close to that 25-minute mark here. Alright, well, CIG decided to end my video for me. Server error just completely deleted all of my progress. Like I said, these have been happening, but they're getting better. Evo, it was really bad. Wave 1, it's kind of started to get bad after the servers have been up for, over, 12, 16 hours. But it's getting better. So hopefully the patch tonight, I can get part 2 done, show you guys a live run from start to finish with my org mates. This video pretty much covered all of what you need to know. And then for that video, we'll actually run it live. So I will be live streaming tonight after the patch. If you guys are curious, you want to join in, hey, more the merrier. But anyways, I appreciate you guys. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch my video. I hope it was informative. And see you guys in the verse. Consider subscribing. If you like the video, throw the thumbs up on it. Helps me out a lot. Appreciate y'all. Take care.